Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I am Jason. Myself because Zack was busy and had some other stuff he had to get done. We're doing another Fighter Spotlight podcast today. We are welcoming Mr. Gregg Ellis to the podcast, who will be fighting this Saturday, Mountain View High School, Orem, Utah, on the Fierce Challenger Series. Gregg is one half of the main event for Saturday night. So, Mr. Ellis, welcome to the podcast, man. We're excited to have you.
Hey, excited for you guys to invite me on here, man. I look forward to chatting it up with you.
Nice. So you're coming up to Utah. You've never been up here, right?
Nope, no, sir.
Okay. So I'm just going through, looking over your Tapology. You started off your amateur career undefeated, started off your pro career 4-0. Last 4 fights didn't go your way. What changes have you made since those last couple fights?
For one, I completely moved my camp out here to Las Vegas and went to Extreme, where I realized there is levels, so to speak. And so that's the main thing, just to switch up the camp. Got more grounded in family and, of course, the Lord Jesus Christ. And from there on, I feel like, that level up, that's Extreme Couture with those type of guys, man. Savages all over the room, and the coaches there are incredible also. So I changed everything as far as that. So I'm looking forward to a new improvement and a new Gregg Ellis 2.0.
Nice. I love it. Yeah, you and I were just talking before we went live on here about how being in a gym like that where you're not the best guy in the gym, and you were saying it yourself, like when you were coming from Florida, how you weren't you were the best guy in the room in Florida, and now you're at Extreme Couture and you're not the best guy there.
Not at all.
Zack's here.
Sorry, Doc. Technical difficulties with the internet.
I figured it was, man. I figured we just get started. We just barely got started. So
cool.
So Gregg, what do you know? Do you know anything about your opponent, Marco Sanchez, for this Saturday night?
So I see you say he's a striker. He's a BJJ black belt. That's as much as I know about him. He's a taller guy like myself, so should be a good scrap for sure.
Yeah, you guys are both pretty tall for that weight class. You're 6'3".
Yes, sir.
Yeah, people like you, I dropped down to 170.
I'm actually coming up from 170, so
I mean, that's too big. It's too big.
I realized that that weight cut was no joke, man. So I'm like, you know what? At Extreme Couture, I spar with all the 85ers, and I got comfortable doing it. So I'm like, hey, let's make that jump and cut out that long, hard weight cut.
Yeah. So do you think 185 will be your new home?
For sure.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
So Gregg, is obviously you're not looking past this fight. We're not, we don't want to look past Marco. Is this something that you're going to continue doing? You plan on taking more fights this year?
Yeah, I'm trying to get 4 fights in for the rest of the year. This one and 3 more. So I'm trying to just stay active, get back on the horse. Because the last 2 years it was 1 fight here, 1 fight there. But now I'm training consistently. I'm in the gym every day. I just want to keep the ball rolling after this one, so to speak.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I always wonder, people to make big weight cuts, how much they feel like it affects their performance the next night, after weigh-ins. Do you feel like it's something that you look forward to? You maybe feel it a little bit better in the cage and not draining yourself so much?
100%. Prior to me fighting at 170, I'll be at about, say, 205-ish, and I'll cut 15 pounds to get to 190, then water cut to cut another 20 pounds. So now I'm at a stable weight where I'm just got to cut the water weight. So I think it'll make a difference. And back then when I went in the cage, I felt a little, slow, and because of all that weight I cut. And all my camp was focused on, okay, you need to get this weight down, get this weight down. Now I can focus on, my skill, technique, and having a game plan to get the job done.
Where do you think that you're better than Marco from what you've seen?
Honestly, every area. And I'm not saying it because I'm just saying it. He's pretty good. His stand-up is clean. But I just feel like being in the room that I am now at Extreme, it's a lot of different talent. They're high-level jiu-jitsu guys, high-level strikers. and I'm starting to fit right in. So I feel like come fight night with me and him, it'll show that it's levels for sure.
Gregg, what is your background? I'm just looking at your record here. You got a lot of finishes by submission on here. There's Americana submission. You got some guillotine submissions, a couple knockouts in there. Where did you get your start at?
I started Tiger Showman's, now switched to Hellman's MMA in Tampa, and that was mostly kickboxing and just BJJ. So I started them both at the same time. When I started out, probably didn't miss a day for 2 years, just grinding and grinding. So my stand-up is as equally as good as my jiu-jitsu. So that's where you see that mix of TKOs and also submissions. So I'm pretty confident wherever it goes. And now that I'm at Extreme, we've been working a lot on wrestling. So I look forward to and showing some of those skills.
You got a lot of wrestlers down there at Extreme Tour.
Strong boys, man.
It's a room full of killers down there. Jake Shields is down there. Yeah, you guys have some killers.
That was my last role for this camp, was Jake Shields, matter of fact. Killer.
How'd that go for you?
How was that? Yeah.
I can't say. It was a good role, but of course, it's Jake Shields, man. There's no shame in that. It was a good role, though, but that pressure that Jake Shields bring, I'm looking to bring some of that pressure with me Saturday night. So,
yeah, when I see people like Jake Shields train, and we have guys, Roman's guys come on here and talk about, Jake Shields. He's one of those guys that, and I have a training partner like that. They've been around forever. Jake Shields, his record was 33-11-1, and I'm like, what 11 guys on the planet beat that guy? You know what I mean? Like, you just see him and it's like, get out of here. How did he ever lose? He's so freaking good.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, man. Just seeing him, just even being around him, his knowledge towards the game, the jiu-jitsu it's pretty eye-opening, and that pressure is like nothing else, man. So I've been trying to copy all these little pressure points and learn as much as I can from him.
Nice.
Awesome. So when you talk about coming up, do you like being the out of town guy coming up into fighting the hometown guy, or do you like it better the other way around?
To me, it really doesn't matter. With the crowd, I feel like when it's time to block them out, they'll be blocked out. So I won't know they're there anyways. I'm pretty sure you have a good group there, but once I get in my zone, no one is there but me and him, not even the referee. So it don't matter to me.
Yeah, it's just interesting. I like to ask that because some people are like, no, I like to come and quiet the crowd, or it's like they draw energy from it. I was talking to one of my teammates that's like a hometown favorite up here in Salt Lake when he fights. And he even said there's some people that said that he should go take a fight out of the state. And I talked to him about that, and he goes, doesn't really matter because like that cage could be, here in Oklahoma or in Mars. Like once it's just you and another dude locked in the cage, it doesn't 100%. Really matter. If you're locked in the cage with another dude.
100%. Yes, sir. 100%.
Yeah. It's always interesting to get different fighters' takes on that.
Yeah. So Gregg, how do you see the fight playing out this Saturday night? And you can't say with your hand raised.
Yeah, that's against the rules.
It's against the rules on the podcast.
Well, we're gonna start with the hand raised. So how am I gonna get there? I have a strong game plan that I look to implement on them, and
cool.
I'm always ready to, if plan A don't work, we can switch it and roll with the punches. So I see a knockout, a cold knockout. Mid-round 2, so definitely by knockout. I just don't think that. I feel like the pressure I've been in Extreme Couture, he won't bring anything near to that, especially sparring with Sean Strickland and those type of guys. So I feel like
Marco used to train with Sean.
Yes, I saw that. So they trained before back in the younger days, but of course, right now, man, Sean is a different beast.
He's a different animal.
He's all over the place right now. So. And
how much smack does Sean talk to you while you're sparring with him?
Unlimited. I have to fight his smack talk, then I have to fight Sean. So it's always a big talk.
You talk smack back?
No, I'm not that comfortable with him yet.
was gonna say, I mean, that's the move right there. Find me the guy that talks smack back to Sean while you're sparring.
Yeah, I'm look. That's a part of the plan. Eventually, I'll be able to, but now I just gotta, I gotta focus on not getting hit too hard and doing my game plan to him. So it's hard to talk at the moment.
Were you there by chance? It was a couple weeks ago. Somebody posted a video on YouTube of Chris Curtis fighting that guy in the gym, the street fighter that said he could. Were you there? And then the guy said he could have knocked him out. I'm like, dude, are you just stupid? Like, what are you doing?
It was the weirdest thing. I don't know where his brain went for him to say he could have knocked Chris out, because Chris literally picked so much punches back, so much kicks back. Because Chris is a nice guy until at the end, the guy was like, "Oh, I could have knocked you out." Then Chris got a little rowdy.
Well, we've seen so Chris has come up on commentary for us before, and there was a hometown kid that Chris almost fought the hometown kid's whole fan section.
I had to try to. Zach's yelling at me because he's commentating. He's like, "Go get Chris!" Like, what am I gonna do? I don't fight.
Go get Chris before he starts swinging on all these dudes.
I'm like, I just went up and I'm like, dude, I can't stop you. So if you're gonna do what you're gonna do, I'm just saying, can you please not go over there and beat up those guys?
Right. Chris is the nicest guy, man. Until of course he crossed that line, he had that dog in him for sure.
It was great because when the fighter that fought and he won, the guy from Salt Lake, he found out that his buddies, he was like, "What are you guys doing? Do you not know who that guy is?" They had no clue. They
didn't know who he was.
They had no clue who he was. It's like, you might want to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, and that guy punches like a truck, man. He hits definitely one of the hardest hitters I sparred. That guy hits hard.
Nice.
Some people, it's just crazy how some people have that natural like heavy hands,
Yeah, it was weird at first. I'm like, okay. And he went boom, boom. I'm like, holy crap. Now I have to go back the distance. There's no infighting with Chris, man. Those hits, you feel every last one of them. Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Greg, are there any sponsors you want to give a shout out to before we let you get out of here?
New Western, of course. They've been sponsoring me since day one, man. They've been through the ins, the outs, the downs, the ups, the lows, and they still stuck around, and he's always there for me. So big shout out to New Western. Thank you guys for everything, for sure.
Right on, Greg. This Saturday, Fierce Challenger Series at Mountain View High School in Orem. Come check it out. Gregg Ellis coming up from Vegas to fight Marco Sanchez in the main event. You can get tickets at the door. Come see us. It's going to be a great night of fights. Greg, thank you again for joining us. We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you Friday night at the weigh-ins.
Thank you guys for having me, man. And again, don't miss it. It'll be a fun one. Thank you, guys.
Excited. All right, and we are